As a leader of your organization, I want to ask you a question. If I chose 5 people from different levels in your business, how similar would their answers be if I asked, what is your strategy? Now, if someone says, let me open my laptop, then it is not a strategy. It's merely a suggested direction. Strategy is something people should live by, not merely know about. But according to research published in the Harvard Business Review, 95% of employees do not understand their organization's strategy, management included. And this raises a second question. Is strategy really that important? When you consider the research that says 7 out of 8 companies failed to achieve profitable growth, even though 90% had detailed strategies. Think about it. So much emphasis is put on strategy under the assumption that it matters, yet 90% fail due to poor execution. Strategy isn't important. It's critical if done right. But what does done right actually mean? Firstly, strategy needs to define a clear purpose, a meaningful direction. Why do you exist? Who do you serve? How are you different? What do you want to achieve? And why should people care? For most leaders, answering these questions well is the strategy. But in our experience, it's only one of 4 pillars of a strategy done well. The second pillar is about how your strategy helps people make the right decisions. And therein lies the misconception. Most strategies don't fail because of one major decision that went wrong, one massive strategic misstep, but rather as a result of the many poor decisions made over time by people who didn't grasp their strategic impact. A great strategy helps every person in the company make better decisions in the moment, because doing the right things is always more important than doing things right. And this leads us to the third pillar, accountability. If your culture values busy people who may do things well, but does not hold them accountable to doing the right things, you'll lose before you start. People are more loyal to culture than strategy, and as a result, their behaviors and decisions will be driven by the assumptions of what management values, not by the strategy. Or as Peter Drucker said it, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And unless you develop a culture of accountability, your ability to execute will be impossible. Now, establishing an accountable culture requires consistent communication, which brings us to the last pillar, cadence, the rhythm of execution. How do businesses expect to live their strategy when 85% of management teams spend less than 2 hours a month on strategy issues? If strategy is important, and we know it's critical, it has to be discussed, developed, and reinforced through a structured cadence. People only respect what you inspect. Strategy helps you define a clear purpose that guides people to make the right decisions in the moment and holds them accountable through an execution cadence.